What's going on, everybody? Fire Chicken and Naughty Nate here.
What's up?
Chicken Ep.109 or
At
something
least.
like that. Yeah. How you doing, man?
I've been good, bro. How are you?
Just busy.
Yeah, I noticed. I've been watching you guys on social media. It's awesome.
Yep, trying to, get the most out of the last of the summer here. We did a barbecue last night.
I saw that. A lot of really awesome competitors showed up too. Viking Warrior, Flex was there, Awanako was there, QP was there. So
Mr.
all you guys,
Gilchrist,
Gilchrist came through.
Yep.
That's what's up.
I would remember, but I got hit too many times. So
it looked like it.
Yes. No, that was some good training. I haven't been really doing much of any sparring or hitting the bag or anything. So, a lot of weight stuff and going and working out, several times a week, but that does really nothing to translate to boxing ability.
Yeah, and getting hit in the face, right? The weights don't hit you. So
right. Yeah. It just puts it into perspective, like just taking a couple months off of like actual training, like where you end up. And then these guys that are training like Viking Warrior and QP, and these guys are training like multiple days a week. It shows,
Yeah, I always find that really surprising too. Like you step back for like maybe let's say you're training with somebody and then you step away for like a month and you really see their progression and how far they went just in that month. And you come back, you're a little bit punch shy. Maybe your angles are a little bit off. It takes a little bit of an adjustment period. So yeah, I agree with you. It's super noticeable. That's why staying consistent, guys, is the most important thing over anything. Is you have to stay consistent in this stuff.
Yes. Working out and staying in shape and that's all great. It does just tons for your mental health and your body and physical health and all that. But for skill wise and being an effective, martial artist or fighter, there's really no replacement for actual fight training.
Yeah, that's so true. Oh man, speaking of fights, we had our event last weekend.
Yes,
man, and what an event it was, man. Jeez, what do we have? Close to about 30 matches, right?
I think we had 30, yeah.
Right on the nose, I believe. Yeah. We also had a couple pretty cool little influencers out there, or up and coming influencers with Juggalo J. He was out.
And the Unemployed Rapper. Yep.
Unemployed Rapper. Shout out to you guys. I saw your guys' reels. So those are looking pretty good.
If you guys are on Instagram and you see I've been sharing the reels that we're collaborating on. So make sure you go and give them a follow.
Yeah, definitely, guys. And like we said, we're always here to help support the community, guys. So if you're into that sort of thing, yeah, hit us up, man. Shoot.
What's up, King Madness?
What's up, King Madness? How you doing, bro? Man, let's see here.
Yeah, we had some great fights. Overall, a really good event. Guys, I haven't even gotten into like looking at any of the footage from the event at all. So I know some people, like, we had a lot of new people at the event, which is great, but it takes a little while to learn how the process works, and there's an editing process. So just to put it into perspective, I'm still working on July. I finally finished June like about a week and a half ago, but I'm working on July. I have a pretty good dent in it, but July we had almost 50 fights.
Yeah. Some really good ones too. Some really notable ones. Some ones that Fire Chicken is going to take the time to edit, and you guys are going to see these fire edits that are coming out. So
in fact, let's show one today.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, that's a little incentive to stick around, guys. We're gonna show one of the fights that I actually just edited today, and it's a pretty good matchup with an OG fighter from the scrapyard. I won't spoil who it is or anything, so you kind of have to sit and wait and
stick around. We're premiering a match tonight.
We are.
Man, some notable guys that came back and had a couple of matches. We had Coach P stepping back into the ring. That was awesome to see because most of the time we see Coach P on the reffing side of things. So for seeing him get out there and throw some hands with Comedian, that was awesome, man. Because Coach P's also been on a little bit of a health journey the last couple months. Dude's dropped probably like 20, 30 pounds. He's looking really fit. So it was nice to see him get out there and step back in there and throw some hands. I really enjoyed that.
Throwing hands and feet.
Yeah.
This was a kickboxing match.
That's what's up. Hey, what's going on, Chef?
Thank you, Chef. Appreciate you.
There we go. I wanted to kind of give a shout out to some new fighters that came through the yard. I mean, they're not brand new, but it's like their second time around. We had Saxman coming through. He's now 2-0. He had a really nice MMA match this past weekend. Really displayed some really good wrestling. So looking forward to see what he has coming up. Let's see here. We had Fortnite Jay. He made his debut. Another really good MMA match. He handled himself really well. And one of the big fellas coming through, Alani, man. Alani, almost 400, damn near 400 pounds. The dude is about as wide as he is tall. Big Islander guy. Bro, did you see that first match he did? I think it was like 2 months ago. He was just taking shots to the head and looking at the guy like, what? Like, what are you gonna do? And when you're looking at heavyweight matches, no matter like the skill level, if you're a heavyweight, you're gonna hit hard. So for him to just take those on the chin and shake it off like that, that guy's gonna be a force to deal with, fellas.
So if there's any challengers out there, he's a bigger dude. He's strong,
Very strong.
And if you feel like you're one of these guys in the comment section that want to jump in and you're upwards of, I would say you'd probably want to be over 300 to fight him.
At least. Yeah. I would say closer to 350, and you're not going to want to be all fat there, fellas. This guy he's muscular too. He's a big build.
Like to find guys like this a match. It's just tough because guys like Juggalo J and that are on the heavier side, it's really they're what I call like extremes. Like you get like somebody that weighs 110 pounds is like an extreme. And it's super difficult to find matchups for people like that. Females, they're kind of on the extreme too. Like we're getting more and more, and I encourage females to sign up. In fact, in a minute we'll talk about maybe a way that we can get more by doing we have an idea, right?
We do have a pretty good idea.
So maybe we'll bring this idea out around I don't know, Valentine's Day.
Yeah, maybe it would be a nice little date idea. That's a little hint. It's a little hint for you guys. It's a good date idea. Yeah. I know I enjoy them. I enjoy it. So but we're a little different,
Yeah. But these extremes, yes, they're hard to match. It's why we encourage people to really get into the Facebook group and sign up. Make sure you're following us. Our page is doing very well right now. A while back, I had my page banned. It was actually stolen, and I had like 150,000 followers on it on Facebook. And now our page we built from, I think this one had 2.2 thousand, when the other one had 150,000. I thought, geez, like really building it, like starting over pretty much. But we've managed to get it up to 180K now. It's doing very well, and it seems like a lot of people are coming over from the page to the Facebook group, and with that does bring some negative people. I've been noticing lately. We've gotten just people that have joined in the last month or so that don't really like respect or understand how we do things. Some of them pick it up pretty quick, but some people are just like, I guess they haven't been around long enough to feel invested and everything. I'm sure they'll regret it at a later point, but
sure. I mean, comment trolls, right? That's kind of what we deal with. You deal with comment trolls, guys that are couch quarterbacks that never stepped in a ring, never put on a pair of boxing gloves or MMA gloves or any of that stuff, but they seem to know or seem to have this delusion that they know what they're talking about.
Armchair quarterbacks.
Exactly.
They're an armchair quarterback.
Exactly. Anybody that's ever trained martial arts or has competed, I think you're a little bit more understanding of
Humble.
individuals when they step in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
because everybody starts somewhere, and that's what people need to understand, that this is an amazing community. This is one amazing event, but we have skill levels at all different levels, guys.
Yeah.
And when you start seeing some of those lower entry level people, uh, that's how real fighting is. That's how I would say a good 80 to 90% of people are when they actually have that pressure put on them and they're under duress. Guys, if you're not training, you don't know how to fight. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you, but if you aren't training, you haven't trained, and you just have been in random little street fights, you look worse than some of these people that are actually going out there and putting themselves on the line. Like, I guarantee it, guys. If anybody's filming you, you're gonna look worse. So shut up or step up, or what's the slogan?
Glove up or shut up.
Glove up or shut up, guys. That's
They,
it.
Nate, they say that the average person is 1,000 times less effective in fighting than they actually think they are. And I really believe that to be true. If you've never trained, if you've never been around legitimate fighters, if you've never been punched in the face, you don't know how to like really fight. I mean, everyone's got a puncher's chance, but let's be honest.
Well,
If you
there's a
don't,
reason. Sorry, go ahead.
if you don't train, how can you expect to be good at it?
Yeah, exactly. That's a big thing, man. If you don't do it, how do you expect to know anything about it? There's a reason why some of the top athletes in this sport are humble. Like, guys, they've been through the shit. Like, they understand what it takes to get there, and they're humble. But
Yeah.
yet somebody in the, sitting on their couch eating freaking Cheetos and never has stepped into a ring, never done anything, somehow they have this huge ego. It's to me, it's funny. I laugh at it, but
Yes, I get a laugh out of it too, but they just don't understand how much is
annoying.
involved.
Yeah.
There is such thing as timing and speed and distance and fatigue and adrenaline dumps and things that you just don't foresee because you're not physically experiencing those when you're watching fights on TV. You're seeing the surface of it. You're like, oh well, I would have shot a double on him there, and I would have put the Kimura in, and I would have like we get this in the comments all the time on the YouTube channel, and it's like, I tell people talk is cheap. You can say whatever you want, but to pull it off against an unwilling human being, and also when you go against somebody that is relative to your skill level, you're not going to look as effective compared to how you would against somebody that doesn't know what they're doing.
Exactly.
It's matching forces at that point. When two people roll jiu-jitsu, higher level stuff, and nobody submits each other, it's like, well, those guys aren't that great. Like, if they're black belts, why aren't they submitting each other?
Right. I mean, we could say that. I mean, real quick, you could say that about the Craig Jones Invitational. CG. That's the big thing with it, man. They're thinking that's in a boring event. You have some of the top grapplers from all over the world show up there, and most of these matches have ended in a stalemate. They haven't ended with submissions. They end in a stalemate after 8 minutes of rolling. They still end in stalemates. I mean, that's the name of the game when you're going against somebody that knows what they're doing or that is as capable as you are. Like, that's what fights look like. They're not super clean. You're not pulling off like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon type of bullshit. Like, it's not how it goes, guys. That's all for the movies.
Well, with jiu-jitsu, so you instruct, you've been doing jiu-jitsu for years.
A little bit.
Say you go against somebody equal level to yourself, but they decide they don't want to play the game and they just want to sit in turtle position and they will play completely defensive. They're hard to submit.
Oh yeah. Because
they're not giving you any openings. They're not on the offensive. They're not going to go for that armbar or whatever that might put them in a position where they could get submitted. It's the turtle thing. I've seen fighters come out here that pretty much had no jiu-jitsu experience, pretty much just turtle up in the ring and nobody could submit them.
Yeah.
One
I
person
mean,
in particular, but it's because if you don't try to submit them, or if you're not trying to submit your opponent, then you're just not opening yourself up to it.
yeah, like I tell people, jiu-jitsu is a lot about leveraging in space. So if they take all that space away and you can't, get through there and you can't create the space, then it's going to be very difficult to, like you said, gain a submission.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean that's just how it is, there's always going to be those couch quarterbacks. There's always going to be some negative and positive. I mean, that's the whole thing with yin and yang, right? No matter how light something is, there's always going to be a small darkness and vice versa. So that's just how it goes. All we're saying, guys, is that if you want to be a part of the community, we want you to be a positive influence. We don't want to have the negativity. If we find out that you're being negative and you're bringing that, you're probably not going to be invited back. That's
Sit
just
down,
how it
be
goes.
humble. That's it's a Kendrick Lamar song. Humble. Sit down, be humble.
Yeah.
And the sport will humble you. But you know what? We just had an instance in the Facebook group that, I had to get rid of the guy. Here's a quick synopsis of what happened. But the guy comes in the group, and Samaritan, who, he's like flexing his muscles and just make kind of a joke. It's a joke video,
Yeah.
and, we're all kind of, this guy kind of goes off on him like, oh, what's your BMI, like your body mass index? It's like, come on, dude. And then he's like posting pictures of himself flexing, and I'm like, muscles don't really make a fighter. I've been lifting for years. I've been fighting and training for years. And I could tell firsthand that, yeah, it looks great. You can move objects with it, but it doesn't translate to fighting in itself. So
it helps.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. It helps, but it's not everything for sure.
Yes. It's if you have the skill, if you know how to fight and you add some muscle to it, yes, it can definitely help you. But just being big, unless you're grabbing a hold of a much smaller guy and slamming him on the pavement, I mean,
you're good for moving furniture, bro.
You're good for moving furniture, and it's just a very non-efficient way of training to get better at fighting.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But the guy, we pretty much said like, hey man, just glove up or shut up. Samaritan will fight you. He's been around a while, and of course the scapegoat rears its ugly head.
As it does.
And the scapegoat says, I live in Canada and I can't make it down there. Oh, how convenient.
Yeah, right. So what are you doing then? What are you trying to accomplish by talking some trash? I don't understand that either. If you're not even willing to step out here, what are you doing?
Yeah. You just look foolish, like hating on somebody and then just being like, oh, I'm not gonna come to you. I had a couple of people recently be like, oh, why don't you come to me? Why don't you come to my state? Like, you're the one like starting the stuff. I have a cage. Like, really, if you're really about it, we can handle it here. But I also don't like to get involved in those things where I'm always willing to like fight somebody just because they disagree with me, because I put these things on.
Yeah, I was gonna say you'd be fighting thousands of people.
What's the point? Because somebody's got a different opinion than me, or they don't like me, so now they get to call me out and call the head guy out and fight him. I mean, what about when I'm like 60? Like, oh, I'm just gonna be like fighting all these people in the cage just because they don't like me? No. If there's a reason, if I'm out of line and I do something that's inappropriate and I say something or do something and it warrants you to want to fight me, and I'm man enough that I can say like, you know what, I said some shit, I'm gonna own up to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make it right. I'll give you an apology. I'll agree to put the gloves on, whatever. There are some situations where it's like, I do just need to get in here with this person. But I try not to give people that option, because it really shouldn't be an option for just anybody to take.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, it's not an option for everybody, guys. I mean, you don't just get to jump in there and fight Dana White because you don't like freaking how he runs shit.
Yeah, how many fights has he been in since? Like none, right?
Exactly. No, yeah, not since his old days of boxing, but yeah, man, I don't get it. How do you? I always I find it entertaining when you get some of these guys too that are in the comments. They're like, "Fly me out there to come fight you," and it's like, you want me to fund you coming out to the yard so you can gain the experience and enjoy the community and get the notoriety and all that, and maybe even
Yeah.
beat me up. You want me to fly you out to come do that? That's always an interesting comment that people like to leave.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think people kind of take this fighting thing out here for granted, and they're just like they don't understand the exposure and the experiences that they're getting, and people are just so expecting of oh yeah, fund my way there, pay my way, like, and then sometimes they don't even seem appreciative of it, like
Yeah.
if it ever does happen. I've seen people sponsor other people and then just not even like mention them, like in their intros, like come on guys, like
Yeah.
that's just like being appreciative that somebody spent like $1,000 on you,
Mhm.
or a couple, to get you out to a place. Just shout them out, like say thank you, appreciate it,
Mhm.
because they created a really awesome experience for you whether you won or lost. I know I've been over to the OG branch. I've been down to the West Coast, and they're expensive trips. Like you got your
Oh
plane
yeah.
flight. If you don't have miles, you got your plane flight. Then you got your hotel. Then you got if you're going to go out and that kind of stuff. And it is really a great experience, but it's pretty spendy to do.
Mhm.
And I always try to make everybody that comes out here that spends money, whether it's driving out of state or flying, like you guys are a priority. We're going to match you at first. We're going to do our best to accommodate you.
Yeah, that's one of the things I really do appreciate about the scrapyard too. That if you make the effort to come out here and be a part of the community and you're positive, the scrapyard gives back. They want to make the effort to help elevate you, and whether it's social media or whether it's in your fight career, if it's trying to get you some information that you may need, because sometimes navigating just this road to getting to the pros, or maybe meeting the right promoter, or learning about a show, because there's some promotions out there that they don't really give a shit about fighters, man, and they'll stick you against anybody. And maybe you want,
Yep.
Maybe we've had competitors go through that promotion and have that experience. We're a resource for you guys. Speaking of fighter safety, I know we had a little bit of a controversy when it came to an early stoppage at in one of the matches. I know that reels out. One thing
Yep.
I want to say about that, I've watched that particular match a good dozen times now, just because it's a pretty short match, and I personally I agree with the stoppage. And here's the reason why. I agree with it because upon impact on the hit, it looked like the fighter that got hit, he went limp. Like he looked like he stiffened up and he went down. When he hit, it was an MMA match. When he hit the ground, it looked like the impact from hitting the ground may have woke him up, because it looked like he hit the ground and may have hit his head a little bit against the cage too, and that woke him up a little bit. And then he was getting back up. Thankfully, we had a ref that was on top of it, saw the kid go down, and immediately got in between the two fighters, and that was the match. And I know in the comments, or even like maybe one of the competitors, they felt like it was an early stoppage. But again, guys, out here at the scrapyard, I mean, we're about fighter safety. It's about gaining experience out here. That's the main thing, is gaining experience, maybe networking, meeting like-minded individuals. It's not always about your win-loss record. We're going to put your safety above anything else. So keep that in mind, guys. Like, I mean, that's pretty much what I have to say about when it comes to fighter safety and that early stoppage. I know it was kind of like brought up in the fighter chat and stuff like that, but when it comes to like I said, early stoppages, or what you consider early stoppage, keep in mind that the ref is there to help protect you, and that's his job. So that's just what it is, man.
Yeah, you guys got to realize, like, this is for the most part, practice and experience for you to get into the big leagues or whatever. We're trying to keep people safe out here. I mean, we do provide the fighters with medical help as far as having a medical staff and getting checked out, and our shout out to our medical staff as well.
Yeah, big shout out to them.
Shout out to our referees, and this is part of it too, is that I don't think that our referee made a bad decision on this at all. I think that he was looking out for the fighter, and I'm actually going to show it to you right this second, so you guys can kind of be the judge on it. So
let us know, guys. Let us know if we're wrong. The hands of the kicks.
So flash knockout. He got hit.
He went limp.
He went limp. His legs went out from under him. He hit the ground, and the ref was on it. Coach P's made some very good catches in his reffing. Definitely remember the E-Money versus High Speed fight. High Speed almost pretty much knocked out E-Money on his feet. And he jumped in there and made the save. And everybody in the comments was like, no, that was actually a really good save. But
yeah,
I mean, it's just a different perspective when you're in there reffing.
Yeah, these guys they're not making a paycheck. There's no money involved. This is an amateur event. Like I said, it's about experience. And if you get caught clean like that and you drop like that, it's going to get stopped, man. And that should be to your benefit. Come back. There's nothing that stopped you from coming back next month or continuing to compete and, progress your skill set. So that's just how I feel about it. I'm glad that, the people that are involved with the event are kind of on the same page when it comes to that stuff. It really makes for a relatively safe event. Kind of moving on from that and speaking about, safety and incidents that happen at.
Let me answer this question really quick first.
Ahead.
So Devin Lewis, look, we're the Scrapyard. We're not Street Beefs. We are an affiliate, a branch of Street Beefs. So you signed up for the Virginia one. Our events are never at the beginning of the month. Our events are always kind of more towards the third week, fourth week of the month. So you would have to get a hold of the OG branch through probably their Facebook group or through Messenger or something along those lines to track down like where that is. I'm not really sure how their process works, so I can't help you as much as I'd like to.
Yeah, I mean, now we're an affiliate of Street Beefs. Isn't that correct? So
that's correct.
You're gonna have to get a hold of the main branch there, buddy.
Yes, we are still as much involved with them as we have been. The fighters and everybody can go back and forth. The records still transfer. It's just honestly like a name thing, to be honest. So like people just, I mean, if you don't make that big of a deal about it and just be like, yeah, I'm gonna go fight, at this other branch. I mean, I'm okay with that. You'll get a good experience out here.
Yeah,
as I'm sure you would at any branch. So
guaranteed, man.
So the drama.
Yeah. Why don't do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I feel like I have to. Like, I made a video and put it in a Facebook group and everything, talking about very specifically what happened. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm really pissed off about the whole situation. I still am. I'm very disappointed. I'm irritated. I mean, I could figure a lot of different words to put in there, but the reason is, and I'm not even going to say any names of these fighters or anything, because it's not important. What's important is to know that I don't want anything like this to ever happen again. And if it does ever happen again, the consequences are going to be very swift. And it's a way to get completely, banned from the Scrapyard for life. I don't want to do that. I want people to come back and be part of the community, but we have to have a functioning society inside our community. There's rules, there's guidelines, there's respect. You can't go to your job, treat your boss or other employees in a certain way and not expect to get fired. And that's kind of the same with the scrapyard. Like, you can't come out here, you can't put our staff in danger. You can't come at me or any people that run the scrapyard. You can't push our refs and do that kind of stuff. It's these people are all out here for volunteer, and they need to be treated with the utmost respect. So the incident is basically this: I had two fighters that got into an altercation within our Facebook group. One called out a member. We let them know, hey, you can't call people out. Okay. Another member came in and kind of started going back and forth with the person that called out that other person. I know this might get confusing. I should just say fighter A and fighter B, but
yeah,
those two got into it, and some words were exchanged, some names were called, some stuff got personal inside the DMs. I tried to de-escalate it. I tried to set up a fight between the two to handle it that way. Granted, guys, I don't always want to go right to the fight thing. I feel like if it's a situation that can be handled by talking or coming to terms or whatever, like, that's the first line of like solving a beef. If two people don't live near each other, I just suggest blocking each other.
Yeah.
The hard part is if they're part of the community, though. Both of them are. And if they're not willing to shake hands, apologize, but they want to come out to the event and be part of it, they're going to run into issues where they're going to have to solve the problem face to face. And that's where the beef fight comes in. Now, in my honest opinion, if the beef happens out at the scrapyard, that's where it should be finished. It should be a beef match inside the cage. Rules or whatever, I'm just gonna say, like, I think that beef fights should be MMA. I suppose if two people that had a beef with each other both said, like, I'll box. But
it's not really beef if you're boxing, guys.
Right, but if both fighters have done MMA in the scrapyard, like,
and what do you think would happen too if, like, we let you guys around each other, no one's there? Chances are it's gonna probably be like a dirty MMA fight anyways.
If it happens on the street, it's gonna be an MMA fight.
Yeah,
and we put the gloves on you. We put the gloves on you, and you guys wear mouthpieces and stuff to protect yourselves. Yeah,
there's a ref there.
It's as close to a street fight as we can make it. And if it starts here, it should end here. And if two participants aren't willing to make it happen here, then they just shouldn't be coming out here, because it's like, you're only going to cause problems going further, because you're not willing to shake hands. You're not willing to fight about it. And then something happened. One of the fighters came out and fought this event. They did an MMA match. After their match, they called out the other person. Obviously, like, granted, guys, I'm not siding with anybody on any of this. I'm neutral in this whole thing. I'm seeing this from an outside perspective. The guy in the cage calls out the other guy who was cage side. So there became an altercation outside the cage, but we handled it. We were in between it. It was a face-off. Nobody was throwing punches or anything like that.
And there was enough people there that if something was to happen, it's over quick. Like I said, everybody was there. The little face-off, those things happen. That's normal.
Yeah, and I was confident that it wasn't going to get out of hand with us doing the face-off. Maybe it would be more likely that they would be willing to come out and handle this beef when it needs to be handled. So I mean, obviously I had to get back in the cage for filming, and in the middle of the fight, like I hear, there's a fight, there's a fight, there's a fight. And 5 years, guys, 5 years, we've never ever had anything like this happen at the scrapyard. And that's what I'm really irritated about, that we weren't able to, the fighters weren't able to restrain themselves enough and prevent it from happening. So one fighter was required to go to the med tent after his fight. It's a requirement. You have to go there. The other guy who was just called out, that had beef with him, went to the med tent and was standing in the doorway and instigating a fight with the guy that was supposed to be in the med tent. It went back and forth. Some people said that the one guy that was in the med tent spit on the other guy. It caused the guy that was standing at the doorway to start a fight with the other guy. Fight broke out. The fight was separated. I had to stop the match in between, in the match, in order to take care of this. These guys that, I believe one of the guys was from a different country that was in the ring fighting. I might be wrong on that, but I believe it was one of the guys.
Yeah, he traveled far. I mean, different country or not, he traveled to be at the scrapyard. It was his time with his opponent in the ring where they should have been. There shouldn't have been distractions outside the ring that took you away from that. And I think that's kind of one of the main points there. Yeah.
That one of the other main points is that my medic staff and the people helping inside the med tent are volunteers. Mm-hmm. To be subjected to that close to a fight where they could have been hurt. Like, honestly, bro, if like one of the people that was in the tent in particular got hurt, I probably would have attacked both those guys. Like, I'm not even playing like that.
Yeah.
I that's, but it should have never happened. It should have never happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so the med tent, the volunteers, they were put in danger. It stopped the match. I immediately told both these people that you guys need to leave for the rest of the event until I figure out what's gonna happen. I did figure that I would give them a second chance, and that I would give them a chance by banning them from 3 events, and then they would be able to come back. One of the people has apologized, which I appreciate that, and is taken the punishment, like a man. So I do appreciate that. But I'm still just, it happened, and if it ever happens again by anybody else, I'm not going to give them the same leeway.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially when it happens the way it happened. And understand, guys, we are being real careful about, exposing anybody and stuff like that for the benefit of the competitors. We're not trying to, bash on anybody. We're trying to talk about a situation that is about safety. Ultimately, it's about fighter safety, staff safety, community safety, and how we want the community to be. We want it to be a place that's welcoming and people feel like they can handle their beefs in the ring like it was designed for.
Yes, this is there's not that many people watching. We're not doing this for views. I'm bringing this up because it's to bring awareness to the community, be people that could potentially get involved with the scrapyard in the future, how this kind of stuff isn't allowed. Mm-hmm. And it's to bring awareness. That's why I talk about things that happen, guys, because I want you to know how important this kind of stuff is. I feel like, we should have set rules and be structured and all that with the community. And for the most part, we are a very respectful community. People get along for the most part. I'm not trying to keep people from solving their beefs or going back and forth. It's not like that.
Or being who you are. We're
or
not
being
trying to
who you
even,
are,
yeah,
right?
nothing like that.
I mean, we got some rules in the group, like you don't go after people for their training videos and stuff. In fact, I commented on a video the other day that somebody laughed at my thing that I said, hey, don't laugh at videos like this or posts like this, guys. And I had somebody laugh at my comment, and I talked to him about it, and it got into a really disrespectful, and ended up them having to be banned, and them sending me personal messages that got really graphic,
Jeez.
pictorial wise.
Yeah.
Never had anybody do that kind of crap to me. It was honestly like pretty low and disgusting. And
Butthole pics, bunch of butthole pics. We don't need them, guys. Don't send them.
yeah, it was like seriously, like you send pictures like this to people
How do you get that angle?
like that you're arguing with? Like what's the point
Yeah,
of that?
right. Oh man,
God,
it's just people, man. It's crazy. The personalities that are out there in the world, and the type of people. I guess the type of personalities people turn into when they get online. You know what I mean? It's like you think you're this person, but again, that's why we have these internet trolls. When you're standing in front of them, different story. But talking a little bit about that situation, what happened too. That's actually kind of a good example of how online beef can also translate over to real life situations.
yes.
A good example of this is going to be the Rajah Jackson guys. If you're not in the know of what happened with Rajah Jackson, that's Rampage Jackson's son. He he was at an event, pro wrestling event. One of the wrestlers backstage thought that Rajah was part of the event, supposedly, or whatever. So he hit him over the head with the empty beer can. That's supposed to, if it was empty or not. They were all in the back drinking. Rajah, he wasn't a part of the skits or whatever, so he took it personal. There's people that got in between them. It was explained that it was part of an act or their whatever. So I guess the promoter of the show, instead of being, fighter safety and recognizing like the potential danger of what could happen to one of his employees and also to this guest that's at his event, he decided that he wants to make this chaos a part of the show.
Yeah.
And by doing so, he tells Rajah, you can get this guy back during the events. Like,
what did he use the term? He said
receipt, right?
Get your receipt.
Mm-hmm.
So let me add a little. I'll let you go forward with this.
Yeah.
There's a couple things in that beginning stage that happened that if you don't see all of the videos online, you miss this. So Rajah got hit with the can, and he was like, "Oh, we're not working. Working, a term,
Yeah,
that's a wrestling term. We're not working the storyline."
He said, "You're not going to sell it."
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So after that, somebody else recorded him actually apologizing to Rajah, like, "Hey, bro, I'm sorry. I didn't know," shaking his hand, making it better. Like he understood, hey, I thought he was part of the skit. He wasn't. I'm going to apologize like a man. And then it seemed to me that the promoter in the backstage, get your receipt and go ahead. keep telling the story.
Yeah, no, you're right on that part. I mean, there is a little bit more backstory to this, guys. Rajah was prior to even the event, couple days to this, he was kicked in the head on a live stream. Rajah could have had a possible concussion, which could have been why he reacted to getting hit with the empty beer can the way he did. Like you said, that other individual then apologized to him because he thought it was part of the show because he saw cameras or whatever. Having said that too, it looked like they were drinking in the back. It looked like he was intoxicated when he did so. So there's also that factor. Regardless, it didn't get handled at the point that it should have got handled. And there should have been that separation. Instead, what they wanted to do is they wanted to capitalize on the drama. Well, when you do that, you're dealing with an individual that fights for real against somebody that kind of is an entertainer, and it's hard to mix the two when you have a real fighter has it in his head that I'm going to hurt this individual. And then you have an entertainer thinking like, oh, it's all squash. Like, hey, it's just part of the events. you know. So basically what they did is they told me, hey, get your receipt. A couple
Yeah.
hours go by, the event's happening. The whole time Raja's live streaming, and in his comments, this is another reason why we try not to have so many negative individuals in the comments, because in the comments people are like riling him up, calling him the B word, telling him he should have handled that situation better, that he's nothing but a punk. Even Rampage Jackson ended up calling him, kind of harass him a little bit about it, not realizing what type of state Raja was in. Like, Raja was serious. He was even telling people on his live stream, like, hey, watch me beat this guy, watch me beat him up, watch what I do.
I do want to say something. So you did bring up the getting possible concussion and that kind of stuff. In my honest opinion, if that was part of the case, I feel like he would have done something when he got hit with the can. Like, that seems like that would have been the time that he would have snapped and would have done something. But
it looked like he was taking off his bag to do something. Like, he got hit. The way he got hit, I think it might have shocked him. Like, what the hell was that? And then it looked like he's all, no, and wants to take off his bag. And that's when they all got in between him. I don't know. Like I said,
but if it was like a mental thing, like, I think it probably, like, he probably would have just snapped and went after him. I think what happened is he thought about it after that. He wasn't okay with it. He had those people in his comments saying things, and then he was green lit to do what he wanted. And he might, whether the promoter meant him to do that, or just be like, yeah, slam
your
him
receipt.
get your receipt, get your payback. And he might have been full on wrestling mode. Oh, I just mean like as a wrestler, but that's not a wrestler.
No, that was not. And they misread that completely.
He probably was not briefed, because this is not a big promotion like the WWE, where they would have, they're not going to bring Shaquille O'Neal in and not brief him on how to interact with the wrestlers, right? I mean, it actually happened one time where Floyd Mayweather broke the Big Show's nose.
Yeah, apparently that was agreed upon. Apparently that was like a big, like, hit me for real.
It was agreed upon in that sense, but I don't think that Big Show was anticipating his nose getting broken like that.
I don't think he was either. He was expecting like on the jaw or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Raja thing, totally mishandled. I think what ends up happening is they give him, like I said, they give him the green light. He then slides into the ring, double legs a guy, lifts him up, slams him down. It looks like the guy goes out on the slam, the initial impact.
Like it, yep.
Then Raja he mounts him and continues to pummel the guy. It looks like he hits him about 23 times. Is that what you counted? 22? 22. I counted 23. But he hits him over 20 times. We could agree on that. He hits him over 20 times before anybody even interrupts him. And that's kind of the thing too, like unprofessional events. You didn't even have guys even want to step in to save your fighter. You got to have somebody there, like a referee, like a Coach P, that's going to step in and put themselves on the line to help prevent one of the individuals from arguably getting killed. Because that's what it looked like. He got murdered damn near.
And it's hard. There's a few things that are hard to know, because for one, they're selling the wrestling match, right? So they might not have known that he was out cold, because you can fake going out and getting slammed, but clearly he hit the back of his head and he didn't react to the punches. So I'm thinking he was out. Okay.
Yeah.
He did the slam wrong. Obviously, like if you're going to do a scoop slam or whatever in wrestling, the person's going to take it the right way. Probably wasn't even expecting it, because he wasn't filled in, which is a promotion thing. Like, oh, by the way, Raj is going to come in and dump you and give you a couple fake shots to the head. Well, I don't think all that was discussed. I think he was out when he hit, and he sat there and he took. And the other people were probably just not sure.
I think they were shocked. I mean,
how quick did that happen, though?
It happened like
seconds.
And I think that's why people were shocked, is because they see that initial thing, and I think automatically they're like, this went from being a show to being real. And a lot of times in these situations, guys, what people don't talk about is they always talk about the fight or flight like if you're in those scenarios. But really what happens if you're untrained is that you freeze. And when
Yep.
people see violence, it's like seeing a car
Oh,
crash. They have to
yeah,
sit
they
and
froze.
watch. And a lot of the individuals around him, they froze, which is
And
why
they
he
were
was able to land.
probably intimidated by him a little bit. One person hit him with a pillow. Like he didn't know what to do. He's freaking out. And so a couple of the people did the right thing. They put him up against the corner. They pinned him with their shoulders so he couldn't really do anything. Which was great. They restrained him. And then some person hit him with a pillow. I didn't get that. But
even in a trained fighter, though, if you have 3 or 4 guys on you, it's going to be tough to get. They're going to hold you down, at least restrict you.
You can't really fight like 3 people unless the 3 people are just not wanting to fight.
Yeah, unless you're moving and swinging on them and you're catching them while you're moving. But in that scenario, in a ring and multiple people coming at him from different angles, they could have got a hold of him and at least prevented him from landing 20 plus shots. It's one thing if you would have hit the guy like 5 or 6 times, that's pretty, that's a lot of hits, but that's kind of like, okay, they got to him, but they literally, he missed on his 12th hit, landed forward and was able to reposture and get off 12 more strikes before anybody even touched him.
He knew it was wrong. He knew.
I think at that point too, I think a couple things may have happened with Raja. I don't know if he anticipated hitting him that many times. I think he may have had it in his mind, like, yeah, I'm going to beat up this guy, but maybe they'll jump on me. And maybe he was anticipating them to pull him off.
That's a good point.
I don't know.
Because when he fights, you have a referee that you fight until somebody pulls you off.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in there, and obviously the referees in those, they're kind of just, they're about like the wrestlers are, they're just going with it.
They're showmen.
They're not real referees. So when no referee stopped it, then it's like you don't stop. Now I could honestly see that. I'm not saying or justifying that it was right.
Nobody's justifying this. It's hard to. Not even Rampage
though. Muscle memory, you just.
And he arguably too, he could have snapped. And like I said, he may not have had it in his head to slam the guy, mount him, and hit him that many times, but he had it in his head to slam him, mount him, and maybe get off a couple hits. And things just, like I said, muscle memory took over. He got caught up in the moment. I know when you're in fights, time is like different. Things are happening at a fast pace. So you don't really know how time works when you're in that type of mindset. So yeah, it's just an unfortunate thing that 2 people's lives were changed. And a lot of it was due to mismanagement, guys. And that's why, again, circling back to the scrapyard, that's why we try to be so on top of this stuff so that we don't have incidents like this that get out of control. So we don't have incidents like that happened in the med tent. I mean, in 5 years, having one incident, that's a pretty good track record, but it also shows us that there's room to improve, that there's things that we have to implement now to make sure that stuff never happens again. And for the community that's involved with the scrapyard, know that there are things that are being implemented so that those things don't happen again. And that's just another, give credit to Fire Chicken and, Mandy Bear and everybody that's hosting this event to make sure it's a safe environment.
Well, and also the volunteers like you guys. You guys are out here helping and making sure things run smooth too.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to all of our help, all the staff that comes out and part of the community this every single month, just enjoying that Saturday of hectic chaos.
Yeah, exactly. It's controlled chaos, though, guys. We want it to be
chaos,
somewhat controlled and enjoy. We want you to have a positive experience. Real quick with that whole altercation, big shout out to Epic Tan for helping
El Guanaco. That's another one too.
Yeah, I think they jumped right into it too and helped help us separate those guys. So I appreciate you guys for stepping in there. You're not required to do that, but the fact that they feel so passionately about the community, about the scrapyard, and in all fairness about the 2 competitors as well, they didn't want things to get handled that way. They wanted it to get handled in the ring.
Yeah, you bring up Epic Tan and it just reminded me of something. I say we've never had an incident happen outside the ring in 5 years, but I did just remember we did, but it was a quick one or 2, and it's actually happened twice, and it involved the same person.
Mm.
So, Mr. Red Shirt, that's not with us anymore,
Mhm.
threw a punch, I believe, at Ep.109, and I believe Ep.109 broke his nose.
Really?
Yeah,
Was
outside
that
the ring.
at the scrapyard
Yeah,
or
yeah,
really? Wow.
yeah. He did his little shuffle step run toward him, got in his face, and I think Tan just busted him right in his nose.
Wow. Well, I'm not surprised he didn't break his nose because Epic
Yeah,
Tan's
yeah.
he's a big boy, man. And he hits hard. And you know what? I've been in that same position, Epic Tan. You never know when that individual's running at you, if he's gonna stop or if he's gonna try to run through you.
Well, he did
So
the same thing to Preacher's Son one time,
mhm.
which Preacher's
No,
Son
or
is super nice guy. I mean, I'm sure he just didn't want to like cause any problems, but I'm pretty sure he hit Preacher's Son. Like,
geez, buddy.
not okay. Not
Not
okay.
okay. Yeah.
Um, yeah. But anyway,
Mm.
yeah, it just reminded me of that. I do want to get through some of the other stuff here. So we got Fighter of the Year coming up. That's going to be voted on in December. So everybody, look, if you've had at least, I think it's, don't quote me on this, but I think it's 3 or 4 fights in the scrapyard this year, you are eligible for Fighter of the Year, as long as you've never been Fighter of the Year before. So
Mhm.
you've done, I think it's 3 fights in the scrapyard. Doesn't matter your win-loss record. You're still part of the scrapyard, meaning you weren't banned. You're eligible to be a Fighter of the Year. And we do, like I said, we'll do an online vote. We're actually going to put together a panel and actually go over why we feel like certain fighter deserves it and that kind of thing. I haven't put together a panel or anything like that yet, but instead of just letting the internet vote on it, we're going to we're going to start doing it this way.
Yeah.
I think
So
there should be some sort of involvement with online,
mhm.
but
Maybe we give the contestants and then online gets a vote out of these guys who they think is the best. That maybe we give them that. I don't know how you want to do it.
well, that's usually it though, is that a fighter will get voted on, and it's always been a popularity contest though. That's
Mhm.
really what it is.
Mm.
It's who made the most impact on the audience. And
Right.
if the audience sees more of this person fight than that person, then it obviously made more of an impact. So if you go and look at our fighters of the year, Gash, Viking Warrior, Solo, Dad, all those fighters had a substantial impact on the community. And people are already bringing up, like this year, hey, who do you think? Okay, I brought it up. Like,
He's a
I
somebody brought
brought
it
it
up.
up. I just wanted to gauge kind of what the
Yeah.
community thinks of, like, who's made an impact this year. And some of the responses really like, yes, you're
Mhm.
right. And I'm excited to see that when the voting happens. So look, guys, November is going to come around. We're going to really start talking about it. The next upcoming event is actually September 20th. That's going to be obviously at the Scrapyard, Gig Harbor, Washington. You can sign up in the Facebook group. We got I also need to talk about this really quick. It's the October 25th. So guys, if you're wanting to fight on that one, we dress up for we dress up for the Halloween event.
And it's fun.
It's
It's
fun. It's
really fun.
encouraged.
Come out and
Dress
do it.
up, come out, put something on, fight in your costume, whatever. We love it. So, but we're going to some fights afterwards. We're going to some fights at the Emerald Queen Casino. It's, like I said, October 25th. That's I believe it's WFC is putting on that promotion.
Mhm.
So what we want to do is we're asking that if you're going to the fights, or if you're not going to our fights, if you just want to come out and support the scrapyard and support the local fight scene, that's really important to me as somebody who holds fights in the fight community locally, that I want to support these other people putting shows on, these other gyms bringing up fighters, We want our fighters to find gyms in different places and get training. And we honestly support like the community, the fight community. So yes, when there's fights like this, and we don't have any of our fighters fighting on this, we're just supporting it because it's something local, and it's a promotion that I believe in time some of our fighters could be on. Well, we've got a couple fighters that have gone pro already, and if they had went pro in MMA, you know, they could be fighting on something like this.
Yep.
So show support to the local fight community by going to these fights, guys. Shark Tank, that's another one that's coming up. When's the date on that? We got fighters fighting at that one.
Shark Tank, that one is, we're gonna have QP, who's one of the notable fighters, and potentially
he's our champion, 170.
Arguably a contender for fighter of the year, I would say. QP, he's going to be doing the Shark Tank September 6th. It'll be his first ever match outside the scrapyard. So we're all rooting for you, QP. We're looking forward to seeing your success outside the scrapyard.
I'm going to try to be there, and whether or not I can make it, or whether or not I can be in the corners, or however that works, I still love to support the fighters when I can. Guys, I can't always go to every show. It's not always something that I'm able to do. Also, Lights Out is fighting on that event.
Oh, shit, I didn't know that one. That's awesome.
Title.
That is awesome. I know he's been training MMA lately.
Yeah.
So, heck yeah, man.
I believe it's a kickboxing title.
Oh, wow. There we go.
So, Lights Out. I know whether you win or lose that fight, you're going to make us proud. We're proud of you. We're proud of how you guys as fighters conduct yourselves outside the scrapyard. You guys give us a good reputation, you know. I would really like people that are in the area that are in the fight scene to experience the scrapyard in one way or another and see the community. And this documentary, I'll bring that up again really quick. That's coming out before the end of the year. We're going to do a showing at a theater. So we're going to have tickets available. People can come in and watch it premiere live. And you are going to see, if you've never been to a scrapyard event, don't really know what goes on behind the scenes, you will after this, because you'll honestly see how much of a community this is. And it's not just a bunch of people getting together to fight.
It's true, guys. And I'm excited for the documentary, honestly. I mean, more so than, you know, the fact that we're all going to be in it, but for the fact that people that are not able to make it to the events, like you said, you get to see some behind the scenes and just how tight knit the community is. I mean, I live about 3.5 hours away from the events where it's at, and that's a small reach compared to some of the people that are, you know, in other countries that hear about the scrapyard, that travel to want to come and be a part of the event. Now you can do that from from your living room, because we're going to be in the documentary that's going to, you know, kind of shed some light on what we do behind the scenes. It's beautiful. I think that's going to be amazing.
I feel like in due time, we're going to probably get some kind of a series. I think with the release of the documentary, it's probably going to open up a lot of doors.
A little spin-off, maybe.
Spin-off would be great, you know, just like episodes. I think that would be really neat. I just want to say really quick, answering a message, guys, you guys need to be aware of where the different street beefs are. White Wolf doesn't fight the scrapyard, never has. I know he's asked me to come out before, and if he ever comes out, honestly, I'm going to say this really quick. Anybody's welcome to come out to the scrapyard. I don't care what anybody says, as long as you're not an SA or a
it's a big thing.
You know, an offender. I'll say, as long as you're not an offender, and as long as you're not banned from street beefs, you're welcome to come out here and fight. I'm not going to deal with logistics of fighters coming out and fighting in different branches or anything like that, because everybody's welcome here. You know, there are fighters that live in different places that fight only in certain places, whatever. I'm just saying we're open to people come out to. So keep that in mind. If you're interested in coming out here to fight, that's great. Love to have you. Documentary. really quick, there's a couple questions here. Somebody asked when the documentary is coming out and where can I see it. It's coming out before the end of the year, and you can watch it on Prime Video. Oh, this is an old thing. Milkman got knocked out fair and square. Need the head, but you choose tie. Knee to the head, but you choose tie. So really quick, if you're not familiar with amateur rules, knees to the head are not legal in any amateur. Well, I won't say any amateur. They're not legal in the scrapyard. That's discussed in the fighter meeting before the fighters get in the cage. If a knockout occurs due to an illegal blow, we will call that a no contest. A draw, basically. So nobody wins. So it's not that we took a win away from anybody or anything like that. It was an illegal shot. The fighter was not able to continue. We had an illegal knee happen recently with Chef. It was his decision to go on. If we would have ended that fight, it would have just been a no contest. Nobody wins. But Chef's got, some cojones and decided to test himself further and got in there and
continued on.
And he got some experience out of it. So that's I hope that clarifies that we don't just take wins away from people for stupid reasons like that. It just wasn't a legal shot. Oh, really quick, we got to talk about this couples boxing thing.
Ooh, here we go.
Yeah,
I had somebody in my comments just asking about that too.
Okay, so if anybody wants to bring their significant or insignificant other out and do a boxing match, listen up. This is kind of the rules that we're setting up. Things we can kind of negotiate that later. But you bring your lady out, or lady, you bring your man out, or two guys versus two guys. Like we can do that, or two girls.
However you guys want to play it. Really, it's significant other.
Yeah, that's cool too. But we're setting it up as couples boxing, and we'll use Naughty Nate and Red Fox as an example. Say they sign up and they're like, "Yeah, we want to do couples boxing." All right, and then I get this other couple. We'll do couples boxing. Okay, we set it up like a regular boxing match, except all four fighters are in the cage at the same time. They're off to the side. We decide, are the men going to fight the men first, or are the women going to fight the women first? Okay, we decide. We're going to do something like maybe just 1 minute round, or it's going to be a 2-minute round, but you only fight half the time. Your spouse or significant other is going to fight the other half. So Naughty Nate goes out, he fights the guy. They're going for a minute straight, right? The ref says switch. The ladies come in. They fight for a minute straight. And then it's the end of the round. The judges are going to judge the entire round based on how the team did. So hopefully your spouse doesn't let you down.
I was gonna say mine's the only one with the undefeated record. I'm the I'm the one with some losses. So
hopefully it doesn't cause any issues outside the scrapyard.
I hope not.
Wow, you really dropped the ball on this one, honey.
Yeah, all right.
So you'll get a lot of recovery time, to be honest, because if you go in first, you're only in there for a minute, then you got a minute while she's in there, and then you got a minute break. So no matter what, you're getting a 2-minute break, and you're only doing a minute of fighting. So cardio wise, if your significance not the great on cardio, it's only a minute.
There we go. Are we gonna have like a weight limit per couple or something?
That's gonna be tough. We're gonna have to figure out and get people. Hopefully, the more people that sign up for this, the more options we have. It's gonna definitely be something that's agreed on by both couples. We're not gonna just say like, yeah, there's 100-pound weight difference on the guys. We got to figure something out. But we'll figure it out. So it's just that if you guys are watching this, scrapyard people or non-scrapyard people or just fans, and you're like, I want to do this. I'm going to sign my wife up for this. It's going to be great. Well, there you go. You don't got to wait till Valentine's Day to surprise your wife with something like this either. So couples boxing, if you're interested, hit me up. It can be boyfriend, girlfriend, it can be whatever. It can be just like, yeah, it can be whatever.
Yeah, and if your significant other is, I don't know, bothering you or giving you a hard time or whatever, this would be a good chance to sign them up to go get beat up. And
Yeah.
it's not on you. You can just be like, oh, dang.
Or just tell them
Hey.
you're going to sign your side piece up for them.
Yeah, there you go. I'm sure that's going to be the next matchup. We're going to be like side piece against the wife or something. I can't wait for that matchup.
Beef. That's real beef.
Yeah, that's going to be a real one. Oh, man.
I mean, honestly, like if a brother and sister wanted to go against a brother and sister, that could be something too.
Yeah, there we go.
Hopefully that's not hopefully that's not couples boxing.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is getting crazy with the couple stuff now.
It doesn't have to be couples if they're brother and sister. We prefer it not be, but okay.
In Alabama.
Sponsors. I'm just gonna bring this up really quick.
Let's do that.
We had a separation from a sponsor that is starting to put out, wanting to do some questionable things and put out questionable content that
I don't approve of.
I don't approve of. I don't agree with.
We don't like that shit.
So guys, if you see our name, like their banner in our cage or something in the past, and you see some stuff they're posting on social media, just know that we don't have anything to do with them. This is stuff that they got into after we broke free from them. They actually stopped fulfilling their sponsorship obligations to us. When they promised that they would. We got a couple fighters out here for the anniversary event that they said that they would take care of getting them over here. So I fronted the cost. They said they would take care of it. The sponsor said they didn't see any sort of like extra sales on their website. So they said, we're not going to cover that cost now.
They get a ton of traffic. Let's not leave that out. They get all this traffic through.
Yeah.
But because their product isn't selling, which again, you have no part of, all your job is to get people to the site.
Yeah.
Because their product's not selling. Now all of a sudden it's back on.
So you go back on this promise that you have.
Weird.
This thing that you promised me as a man that you said, no, we'll take care of that. Oh, wait. Yeah. Guess what? We're not going to take care of that. In fact, we're just not going to fulfill any of our sponsorship obligations for the last couple months that I've been telling you the checks were in the mail and all this stuff. And it's like, just to show what type of person that is. And then to see some of the posts that they're making after the fact, to see like what type of person this was. It's like, it's just so off-putting. It's like, if I would have known that that's what they were all about when I first started talking to them, I never would have agreed to do any sort of a sponsorship with them and promote, because honestly, what they were promoting in the beginning was something I agreed with.
Yeah.
But then it's like, I started to see this guy is a bit twisted and had some really bad ideas about how to get people to get views and stuff. And I'm like, no, thank you. Not going to happen. I'm not even going to talk about some of the stuff that they were wanting us to do just to get more views. And then again, like what you mentioned, my agreement with them was an advertising slot. I said, I will share these reels. I will put your banner up. I will shout your name out. I'll do all this stuff. I did my part. I directed people over there. But when you don't have products that people want to buy, people aren't going to buy them just because they're fans of what we do. Yeah, we get, and they actually insulted you, the fans. Yeah. They said they're a bunch of worthless like fans that they're not going to buy anything ever. And to me, I'm just thinking like,
wow, I don't have that problem.
I think that they just didn't want to buy what you were selling. Like your products, you had like 4 products on your website. You sent me some of your products, and within the first wash, the thing ripped off, peeled off the sleeve, and you're like, oh yeah, we know that's an issue. It's like, so the quality's not there. I saw that kind of red flag in the beginning, but nobody was buying their products anyway.
Also,
So,
too, I mean, they're a small business. They're kind of a startup. We're trying to help them get off the ground
yes,
and, support these local individuals that we know. And then all of a sudden, they're not getting what they anticipated out of it. Now it's all your fault. When it's like, come on,
yes,
guys, take some accountability here. Understand that, like, in business, like, you have to have a product that's going to be worth some value. It doesn't matter how many people look at it. If it's not worth any value, nobody's going to want it. So
nobody's
put
gonna
a little
want it.
bit more time into your products.
Well,
And
just like the t-shirts that they
Mhm.
they pulled this one out from under me too. So they come up with this design that I like. Honestly, the designs weren't bad. Like I like the look of the designs that they did, but
Mhm.
they send me like 90 t-shirts, right? And I'm thinking, okay, cool. I'm gonna give these things out at the anniversary. I'm gonna, see how they're received. But
Mhm.
at the events, like there's only a number of people at the events. Like if they're expecting to get rich off these t-shirts, and then I get them right, and they put the design just on the back.
Oh,
I'm like,
dude,
there was
I know.
nothing on, like
I know. I
you
got it
want,
behind me. I know.
so like if I was gonna like advertise for that in a video, like what, I'm gonna just turn around and show you, like, okay, so that was like poorly executed, and I feel like it was a real amateur move, like you've never dealt with any t-shirt
Mhm.
stuff before. So anyway, then they tell me after I get the merchandise, they're like, yeah, okay, you need to send me $1,500 after the event for those t-shirts. I'm like, but you did not tell me that ahead of time. You're
Yeah.
just like, so you're expecting me to work to sell all these t-shirts and make this money and then send it back to you, like, so I'm working for my sponsorship now.
Right. Right. That
How's
doesn't
that
make any
supposed to work?
sense. Yeah.
And then
It doesn't. It
and
doesn't.
then
That's it.
part of the thing, like when we were on our final phone call, when he shorted me, like I got a little bit out of him, but he was like, oh yeah, just keep those, that'll be the rest of it right there. It's like, okay, cool. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's, I
Lessons
mean,
learned,
I
right?
knew it
That's
was a learning experience. It was a
and that,
learning
yeah.
experience. And it's just this company that I wish nothing but the best for.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, like you said, our hands are washed. Good luck,
Yes.
guys. Whatever. But
And that's going to open up the opportunity for other sponsors. If
Mhm.
you are watching this, which, I mean, it's a handful of people, but if you're watching this and you're a sponsor, I'm telling you what, our videos on Instagram this month have gotten 56 million views on Instagram.
Jeez.
If there's a banner in the cage that has your logo on it, that's brand recognition. People are going to see
Mhm.
it. You work with me, you tell me how you want us to pitch you, how you want us to advertise you. We can negotiate, we can do all that stuff. I'm willing to work with people and get advertising out there for them, but we're gonna probably have to do some stuff in writing and do that. No more trusting people like I did with them. Bad experience,
Mhm.
but we're here. We're a good source of advertisement for you. And if it's something that you might want to do, and if it's something that maybe you don't fit quite in with what we're wanting to negotiate, look at it this way, guys. If there's a fighter at the scrapyard that you see fight every month that you're like, well, can I sponsor a fighter? Yes, you can. And
Mhm.
I won't be the middleman in that. You can negotiate whatever you want with them, and I am not taking any of it.
Mhm.
So that's an opportunity for the fighter to shout out your business, your product, whatever negotiations you make between you and them is between you and them. I know Solo's got a sponsor. I know
Lights out.
Lights Out's got a sponsor.
Got a couple of them, man.
I know that Old School, he's always shouting stuff out.
Mhm.
Gaio, shouting stuff out. So guys, I encourage you to use your time in your intros to promote something, to say what you want, to get yourself out there and make yourself a character. The more you give to the audience, the more they're going to receive.
That's it. And if you guys need any help with like a sponsorship package for the fighters out there, feel
Yes.
free to reach out to one of us, or I guess me. Feel free to reach out to me, and I will help you out with that, guys. I've been putting fighter sponsorship packages together now for about 6 months and trying to, get some of our guys on the Reptilian Top Team sponsored or the team
Yep.
sponsored itself. So yeah, guys. I mean, there's opportunities out there, not just for fighters, but for businesses out there, big and small, that want to get their name out there to a large audience. Like Fire Chicken saying, 56 million views, guys.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that. Anyway, I know, just to put something in context, I know when we're looking for sponsorships prior to us even going to the scrapyard early on in our gym, we're looking at like Safeway, making a deal with them to help with advertisement. To put our logo on the back of a receipt was like $25 a day. That to me is ridiculous, considering, I mean, I don't even ask for my receipt back.
And how many people look at the receipt at the back of the receipt? Unless you're doing Monopoly or something, and you're collecting pieces, you're not looking at the back of that receipt.
And how many of those people that are looking at the back of the receipt are into martial arts or looking for a gym? You know what I mean? Like it's ridiculous. So, and you're probably getting roughly about 500 people that are going to see that in a week, maybe. I mean, look at the numbers, guys. So when it comes to sponsorship, we all know social media is where it's at. And when you have a huge platform like this, you have reach. So let's talk, guys.
Let's put it into perspective really quick. We got our Instagram, which is at almost 1.7 million. I mentioned 56 million views. That's a lot of eyes on a potential logo on screen. A banner hanging up is going to get seen by everybody. Then we got our YouTube channel, which is we're creeping in on a million subscribers. This little play button right here is going to turn into a gold one here in the next year or so. So that's roughly, like, I don't get as many views on there because it's more long form content, but I do shout out the sponsors. Because I put their logo on the screen. I say, hey, check out HKA USA. Look at these gloves they got. Look at these. Like, I really try to work that. I think we're getting like 10 million views, but honestly, like, you get the extra advertising there. I do collaborations on Reels, meaning, we're getting the views on the Reels, but people look at it and they see a name next to it and they're like, oh, well, who's collaborating on this Reel with them? Okay, I'm going to click on that. And that funnels some people over, and it's building up a social media on there. We got our Facebook group, 180,000 followers we hit today. And I don't even know, but we're getting a lot of views on that, which is great. Our Facebook group, we're getting a lot of traffic in the Facebook group. We just hit 60,000 Facebook followers. And I'm only telling you guys this because it shows like the reach and everything. And
these are huge numbers. Yeah,
they are.
These are huge followers, subscribers. I mean, these are eyes for people to see your product or see your business. Or
as a fighter, just to see you. Remember that, people. When you start to think like, what am I getting out of this? You're getting exposure. And we were talking earlier before off camera that the opportunities that fighters have to take advantage of what we have here, whether it's creating content, whether it's shouting out, whether it's showcasing your skills, it's there for you guys. You just have to learn and take advantage of it. I can't like make people follow you and do all that stuff. You got to do some of the work yourself, but once you tap in and harness what we have, there's a lot you can get out of it.
Yeah, the platform's here, guys, and a perfect example of somebody being able to capitalize on that is going to be Death Sentence. Look at where he's gone. He's being trained by Mighty Mouse now.
Yeah, I mean, guys, Bro's got 322,000 followers on Instagram. I mean,
and if he was to jump on the amateur circuit or come out on the amateur circuit for his first match,
sell out anything that. If he did a celebrity boxing match, Oh
Yeah.
man.
Oh yeah, now. But I'm saying like prior to him
Oh.
even getting the exposure he
Oh.
got from street beefs, if he was to try to go out and do that at an amateur event, how
Yeah.
many eyes do you think would have seen him? How much exposure do you think he would have, got?
None. And I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because we let you be who you are. We
Mhm.
let you wear stuff. We let you put on a performance. If you want to come out here with hands down, running at people with a red shirt on,
Mhm.
like you can do that here. You can't do that in amateurs. They're not going to let you do
Mhm.
that. They're not going to give you your individuality. You're not going to get the camera time. You're not going to get the same thing. Amateur serves a great purpose, and it's
Mhm.
to get you into the pro level, to get you real world experience against equally skilled opponents on a higher level.
Mhm.
If
But
you're like at the level 4, level 5 in the scrapyard, your best bet is to be signing up for amateurs and getting some fights in, because
yeah.
you're just not going to get matched up as frequently as you do here or as in amateurs. You're probably always going to find a match in amateurs. Yeah, you're going to get dropouts because that's amateurs,
Mhm.
but we get dropouts here too.
Yeah, it happens.
We just don't sell tickets. So if somebody drops out, I'm just like, you know what? We'll either match you up with someone else, or there's
See you
always
next month. Yeah. But the big thing is, like you're saying, you're not going to get the same exposure, guys.
No.
So that is the big benefit of coming out to the scrapyard is you get the community support, you get networking to gyms, promoters, other
Mhm.
training partners that are also trying to get to where you're getting to.
There's been a lot of connections made out at the scrapyard through training
So many
partners,
guys.
through promotions, through gyms. I see it every time I visit one of your Facebooks. I could,
Mm-hmm.
100 mutual friends. Okay. This is even more reason why, hey, you know what? We got guidelines and rules out here. Please just follow them, because you don't want to lose something like this just because you're being an asshole. So
Exactly.
Nate, I hate to have to say this, but we got to wrap things up.
We do,
We're gonna,
sir.
I apologize, guys. We had plans to show you a fight tonight. The fight's going to go out tomorrow. So
Ooh,
I'm going to
fight's out
release it tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So the fight that I was telling you about is going to go live tomorrow. Not much of a wait. It's in our membership section if you want to watch it right now.
Another reason to get that membership, guys. Only $4.99. If you
Yep.
don't got it yet, be sure to
Get it.
get it before the next event, because that is how you see the live events as well.
The pay-per-views.
Make sure you get
Yep.
that. Yeah.
Yep. And that's how you review and watch your fights and listen to the commentary. And I feel like we're going to add more to the pay-per-view. I've got some ideas and stuff that I don't like to tell publicly, because there's some vultures out there.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna do that next, and it's like, no, I just like to surprise people with my.
And
with
that's
my,
always nice too, as a fan. You're always seeing something new. So it's
yes.
good to tune in to kind of pick out what's being added or taken away. It's really nice.
Yep. So shout outs.
Shout
My
out.
man, give me your shout outs.
Ooh, who do I got for shout outs? All right. So quick shout out to Short Temper. He had his match the same day that we had our event. He went and did his first ever amateur match. It was a boxing match, I believe. And from my understanding, he lost the decision, but through the grapevine, I heard the boy won. I heard that he put a beating on that dude, and somehow the judges were blind and they didn't.
I heard they had 3 Cecil Peoples there.
There we go. So big shout out to him. Again, we encourage our competitors to also step out, do these local events. So big shout out to him. Another shout out to Dad and the Horn. They'll be competing on September 13th at the NWC in Vancouver, Washington. I'll be cornering both of those guys. Can't wait for that event. It'll be MMA, for Dad's first MMA match. So we're looking forward to that.
NWC, that's
Austin Springer's event.
Austin Springer. Okay, I've personally been to Austin Springer's events before, guys. Super nice guy. I encourage fighters at the scrapyard to look into doing fights at his events.
Austin, really cool guy. Former Bellator competitor, former
UFC fighter, right?
UFC fighter. Yeah, he was on the Contender, the UFC reality show. So yeah, guys, if you want to get some local notoriety and stuff like that, that's a good event to hit up. More shout outs. Shout out, of course, to my lady, Red Fox. I love you. Thank you for putting up with me. Shout out to my daughter. Love her. Shout out to my sister who just had a baby boy a couple days ago. So congratulations on that. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram. That's FAWB, FAWB _podcast, to stay up to date on all the things I'm doing with Forever a White Belt. And come join me at Columbia River Jiu-Jitsu to get in some training, guys. You know, the Reptilian Top Team, we're always recruiting. We're always looking to add to the nest of little lizards that I have there. So stop
like
in.
That. I like that.
Yeah, I've been working on that.
You should put that on a t-shirt. Like
I'm gonna.
Oh, I love that.
Trademark, guys. Don't take that away. Yeah, we'll be up at the next events here in a couple weeks. We'll be seeing you over there. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for shout outs today.
Let's get some sparring in after.
We got to.
Because we're not going to get a chance to after the October one.
Yeah. No, we'll make time
we
to
can both jump in the ring before the fights start, you know.
I know, right? Maybe.
They let me go in the ring last time.
I was going to say, we might be able to put a good promo or something in there. That'd be cool.
Yep. I do plan still on getting up to Columbia River Jiu-Jitsu, at least for doing an overnighter. I'd like to come up maybe on a Friday, you know, maybe hit the outlets on the way. That's how I'm going to get my wife there.
That's
outlets on the way. Go down there.
Heck yeah, man.
Do a training session with you guys. Maybe we could go out and get some food afterwards.
Definitely, we're gonna need to. Heck yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely. I don't forget about that, and it's gonna happen soon.
I know it. We'll keep it. If you happen to come on a Friday, we do go for Friday. What is it? Friday night for A for All. So I go live on my Facebook group. So if Fire Chicken's in town, you know we're gonna be live. Be sure to tune into that, guys, and watch us beat each other up.
Yes, sir. All right, let me get through my shout outs really quick. So first off, a lot of people think that I have animosity towards this group, but I honestly just want to give them a shout out for a successful 5-year anniversary. So shout out to Street Beast West Coast. I know that my popularity isn't very high there. And I do think that has to do with maybe some talking behind the scenes and stuff, but as a whole, like the people and the fighters out there, like I'm pretty cool with as far as like how I feel about them. But you know, 5 years is a big accomplishment, and
yes,
it just shows that like continuing to grow over time, and that they built something special out there too. So shout out to them. Shout out to the staff and everybody that comes out here that helps out, including you, Naughty Nate, and Justine Red Fox. You guys are awesome. Lisa, our referees, our medical staff, sign-in stations, matchmakers, all of you, you're great. Shout out to my family. You know, they help out a lot. My Mandy Bear, she puts up with all my BS and allows me to do this kind of stuff and helps out with a lot of stuff.
The real champion right there.
The real champion. Yeah, I need to have a belt made for her.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, the fighters and you, the fans that watch. Thank you guys. Appreciate you a lot. So
yeah, thank you guys for tuning in tonight, man. We plan to have our next episode in 2 weeks. We do it the week leading into fight week. So yeah, guys, I hope to see you guys then.
All right. And that's all we got for you tonight. Thanks for watching the show. Appreciate you all. Naughty Nate, it's been great. See you on the next one.
On the next one, bro. Later.